In high school, I played two sports. I ran track and field, and I played football. I remember my sophomore season of football. Towards the end of the year, I had made a lot of progress. I had developed my skills and done some good things. I wasn't yet a starter on varsity, but I did play a little special teams. And I thought I had a good year. I thought I proved a lot to the coaches and did my thing. And overheard a conversation of my coaches, and they were talking about the progress that I did make and the skill set that I did have. And the next thing they started talking about was my size, because in high school I was the small guy. I still am the small guy. And they spent a great deal talking about it. And what they wanted to ask each other, what they wanted to figure out was whether or not I could be trusted, whether or not I could actually play at that level and perform at that level, the varsity level. And I didn't hear too much of the conversation afterwards because I kind of walked away. Um, so my sophomore summer, going into my junior year, I knew that I had to put on weight. So I did everything that I could that summer to put on weight. Everything, ate everything in sight. Worked out as much as I could, and tried to do what I thought I could to solidify my spot as a starter going into my junior season. Um, and it didn't work out. I didn't put on any weight. I didn't grow any taller. I didn't have a growth spur. So I just tried to do my thing with my skill set. I tried to improve on that and develop myself and earn a spot that way. I ended up becoming a co starter with another kid and played special teams, and it wasn't satisfying to me. I didn't like it because I felt like I could do it by myself. I felt I was a starter, not a co-starter, and so I dealt with it. I played for a while, and I remember after games on Friday nights, I would come home and sit in my room and just stare at the wall. I wouldn't talk to nobody. I wouldn't do anything. I would just kind of stare at the wall. And I remember one night my uncle came in and he asked me what was up. He asked me how was the game and things like that. And I told him that I was a co-starter and I wasn't happy being one. And he was like, well, then what are you doing about it? And I told him I can't. There's nothing I can do. And he said, what do you mean? I told him that my coaches felt I wasn't big enough to start every game. I didn't have the size to play at varsity level. And I remember looking up, and the look on his face, he looked so mad at me. And I didn't understand why at the moment, but then he's told me something that I'll never forget, something that stuck with me even today. He told me, dynamite comes in small packages. And at first I laughed because I had no idea what he was trying to tell me. And I thought he was just trying to cheer me up. And he looked at me and he said, do you understand? And he said it again. Dynamite comes in small packages. So I started to think about it, and it started to sink in, and I realized what he was trying to tell me. And after our conversation, I remember going to the shower. And before I got in the shower, I remember sitting in there and looking at myself in the mirror. And I remember looking to find my self-worth. I remember looking to figure out what I thought I was and who I thought I could be. And I realized to that point that I had been letting other people determine my worth, and that I had been settling for their determination of my worth. That I had been buying into what other people say I am or can and cannot do based on my size. And it blew my mind. So there, before I got in the shower, I decided to never let another person determine my worth or tell me what I was able and not able to do. So why do we let other people determine our worth? And why do we settle for less than we deserve when we know we should have something better? Why do we settle? Why is it when our test scores are low, we let people tell us we're dumb? And why is it when we're not a certain height or weight, we let individuals tell us we can never play professional sports or can only go so far? When you look at yourself in the mirror and you say to yourself, I'm a CEO, I'm an owner of a company, then why are you settling for being a manager? Why are you settling for being an employee? If when you look at yourself in the mirror and you say, my paintings should be in museums or sold in high-end art galleries, why are you settling for garage sales or eBay sales. If you look at yourself and you say, my literature should be in the top seller category and my poems should be there as well, then why are you settling for that one time you slammed one in the high school talent show and won? Or you wrote that really cool article and it got published in the school paper? If you look at yourself and you say, I'm a professional athlete, why are you settling for being a fan? Are you settling because you're buying into the value that other people are giving you, or your dreams or your goals? Are you settling because so many people have said you can't, that you believe it yourself now too? And the truth is, you can't settle. You can't listen to them when they tell you how much you're worth. You can't listen to them when they tell you what you can and can't do, because your worth far exceeds that of anybody outside of you. Whatever determination, whatever value they can place on you, your value is far beyond that. Far, far beyond it. Or your goal, your dream, whatever it is, the value of it to you should far exceed any value that has been placed on you by coaches, by peers, by friends, by family, by teachers, professors, anybody that's been around you. The value that they give to you will never be the true value of you. Only you know the value. Only you know what you're worth and what you're capable of doing and not capable of doing. See, me, I love proving people wrong, especially when it comes to my size. I still run into people to this day who say I can't do things based on my size, and there's few things that I love more than proving those kinds of people wrong. And that's the approach that you should have to it as well. When somebody gives something that you enjoy, something that you love, or what you do, or what you aspire to be, such a small value, you should take pride and you should almost get happy to prove that person wrong, or that group of people wrong, or that organization wrong. Don't let them be right, because then they win, because then that is the value.